Bora Hansgrohe had claimed a top 10 finish in my absence, and my Slovakian teammates were expecting to be doing the road race without me too. I'd hauled my sorry, sweaty arse out of bed and flown out of Nice yesterday morning, spending most of the 2,500 kilometres in the toilet. I'd been pretty quiet on the start line, glad and frankly amazed just to be there. As we passed over the finish line for the first time, when we reached the Bergen circuit, I turned to my brother Juraj, riding alongside me, both of us resplendent in our blue, red and white Slovakia skin suits. "Take a good look," I told him. "I don't think we'll be seeing this line again." But the steady pace was good for me, and so was the mild temperature. A year ago, I'd won this title in searing heat in Qatar. I couldn't see my dehydrated system getting away with that again. Norway was a lot more accommodating. I buried myself in the heart of the bunch. It was decreasing in numbers gradually as the race went on. The Worlds always has a high dropout rate for a number of reasons. One, a lot of nations send riders to make up the numbers to keep their foot in the door with the powers that be and try to ensure they don't lose those places in subsequent years. Two, many riders are there to control, chase, or get in breaks in the first half of the race for their team leaders, and their jobs are complete before the real action begins. Three, it's a really, really long race. 267 kilometres in 2017. At the end of a long season, and you have to ride past the welcoming, warm, dry pits area many times. You can feel your handlebars begin to turn in of their own accord, the magnetic pull increasing with each lap. You might even be able to see your hotel from the route. It was fairly steady until about 5 laps to go. Then the Dutch guys all got on the front and everything got distinctly uncomfortable. The Netherlands always seem to bring seemingly unending numbers of powerful horses to the Worlds, and if you're in the bunch and you see what seems like dozens of 80-kilogram, 6-foot-plus muscle men in orange jerseys get on the front, it's always time to take a deep breath and grit your teeth. The fasten seatbelt sign goes on in your head. You know it's going to get bumpy. Paradoxically, nobody from Holland has won this race in my lifetime, but while they might not have been kings for a long time, they have the ability to be kingmakers, inadvertently or not. I've been through a few tests by this time, and mentally I counted them off. Test 1, get to Bergen, tick. Test 2, start race, tick. Test 3, look like a cyclist for an hour, tick. This was test 4, survive an injection of pace. Oh well, I'll never be one to die wandering. Better get on with it, Peter. There are about 100 of us left. After a race is over, I'm often asked to explain how it unfolded, especially if I've won, as if it was a novel I'd written, shuffling characters around, plotting the action, throwing in a few red herrings, and placing the hero in peril. It's an attractive conceit, and I can see why they would like me to take up the invitation, but it's not possible. They're not wrong that there is a narrative, but it's just my narrative. There are 100 guys each with a story, each story different to everybody else's. I can only tell mine. You know GoPro cameras? They're great, eh? One fixed to the front of a bike can give you real excitement and a feel for the internal workings of a race. Now imagine that was your only view of the race. The World Championships in Bergen without helicopter coverage, without motorbike coverage, without finish line cameras, without commentary, all 6.5 hours of it. Well, that's my story, my movie, my narrow version of 100 versions, and I don't think we'd find many willing viewers for that. I hung on, focused on the wheel in front. Hid, really. I'm used to riding in the front to see what's going on, and it turns out that it's all a bit confusing 30 wheels back. But I wasn't thinking about winning. I was thinking about surviving, and about a respectful end to my 2 years of wearing this fabulously storied rainbow jersey. The noise around the circuit didn't let up for a second, and even as the intensity of the race increased, it was impossible to miss the huge number of Slovak fans who had made the trip to Norway. Flags of my home country arched impossibly high into the sky on huge poles. Every time I heard my name shouted, I felt a little stronger. Every Slovak scream from the roadside reminded me that there was an entire nation at home urging me forward, praying for the impossible to happen. There were thousands of Viking helmets covered in red, white and blue Norwegian colours, huge mountains of men waving flares, hot dogs or cans of beer. The smell of sizzling frankfurters or the charring of smoked fish was never absent, just shifting in curtains of scent as you passed from one group to another. Swiss fans rang implausibly large cowbells. No cow would survive a night on the Matterhorn with one of those things round her neck. Union Jacks were in abundance too. A budget airline flight for a fantastic weekend was too much for the fanatical British supporters to pass up. French and Italian supporter groups crystallise into passion.